It's May 6, 2024, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Volothan modulus tautology. Dropping jewels. Sprinkle them like they seeds in the soil. Hopefully a tree will grow, right? I'm all right. I could be better, but I'm not here to complain, right? It's it is the society of lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. Therein is the hypocrisy. We learning. When are they going to learn? The sad answer to that question is never. Let me start off with a shout out to Don, Ern, and John, three brothers I met walking this path that we trying to, fight against the tyranny of slavery, injustice, and inequity. What is it? Not equal, right? Which is a paradox within itself, right? And that's what we're trying to seek is individualism, but without trust, we're going nowhere, right? Without love, we're not going anywhere, right? And living in fear, definitely not going anywhere. Let me hit the play button a little bit. You see, I got the side sky thing flowing, and then I can hit the play button, and then let it play a little bit. See, it ain't want to play on me, but y'all know what I'm still on. I'm still on it. It's the remaster. Why ain't it playing? It's messing up my flow. Of course, I'm talking about the classic, The Godfather, right? Is it the greatest movie of all time? I say it is. I don't care. It don't matter. And the reason why I say it is because it's so well put together. It is the story of building a family that rivals the presidency. The presidency is our rivals. They're the ones telling us how we gotta live. So we trying to build happy homes as black men. And the government that we have, this current one especially, is doing everything in its power to destroy the black family. As soon as I say that, that's when a lot of mental slaves go, well, Trump's not, you see, that's the problem. Right? I'm not saying Trump's the savior. I'm saying Trump's setting out to do the only what Grover Cleveland did. All right. But became the 22nd and 24th president of the United States. So if he wins again, he surpasses Biden as far as being great presidents, in a way that kind of puts him above Reagan, right? It even puts him ahead of Lincoln, who didn't even serve, Well, y'all know the story, how it goes, and what's really going on. They're fighting for power, and we're caught in the middle of their fight for power. And all we trying to do is build. The way this movie starts off is so next level. This scene right here, I can talk about all day, and I'm seeing a lot of people um, make media content and breaking it down, and how the Godfather really isn't a murderer. Um, because at one point the guy he's asking for that type of revenge for his daughter getting beat up and taken advantage of. So he at one point he whispers in the Godfather ear, and we know what he whispered is, I want them dead, But and the Godfather took it as being disrespectful, like, dude, if we've known each other for a long time, if we would have just been friends, right, and you'd have came to me before you went to the police, the government, for help, I'd have took care of it already. They'd known we were friends, second of all, right? And then they would fear you, right? Classic hip hop right here. Now I say it's hip hop, and that's when they go, oh, these Italians, and they don't like black people, and all this other stuff, and what I mean. This lesson, this movie is a lesson for, yes, it's a lesson for Italians. They were actually against this movie during that time. I talked about that before, because they followed in the footsteps of the civil rights movement. So when this movie was coming out, Italians was fighting for their Italian civil rights. Of here's media that's you know saying bad things, that we're all mobsters and gangsters and stuff like that. And then once the movie came out, and then they realized that Corleone was just like them. It's just that Corleone, his ambition was that his son Michael become a senator, become a become the first Italian president of the United States. That's what he actually wanted, and that's what the story's about. But we live in a society that's all, he's a murderer, he's a killer, he's the murderer, like, judging um, Marlon Brando as being the problem to why Italian Americans can't, you know, become great, when this movie became a symbol of them becoming great and bathing in their greatness. Right? Can I say more so than the Roman Empire? Because that's what they represent, the Roman Empire that the American government is against, because the American government paints them as being the mob. Now I'm saying is they're doing the same thing to the original hip hop culture. It's an American Hip hop is an American culture created by the children of the 1960 civil rights movement. So as soon as I mention our prophets, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Kwame Ture, Muhammad Ali, certain individuals, as soon as I go, that's as far as I got to do. They tell on themselves like they weren't the solution to us overcoming. Yes, they were the solution. They are elders. They were building and strengthening our brotherhood of mankind. It's the fatherhood of God that everybody's against. And when I mean by everybody, I'm really talking about a few. Those that are anti religion. They act like they're friends. They go to the churches. They even have the crosses around their necks. So they act like they're the ones being, so, what's the word I'm looking for? Victims, right? So anybody that acts like a victim is also now we're the ones being false pride. And I'm not a victim for asking for help. That's the moral of the story. When I manage the stores, yes, I need my employees to help me. And they helped me. That's why my stores did good. It was the corporate level that come to my stores and then telling my employees not to stop helping me. Hypocrites, right? He has to do it all by himself. Like that's impossible. That's ignorant. So if your employees stop helping you, all you're going to do is get fired. If the companies stop helping you, all they're going to do is actually go bankrupt, right? And that's what's going on. All these companies are going bankrupt. Yes, some companies are flourishing, the Dollar Trees, because now China's helping us even more. So now we can, push cheaper goods at a quarter, at 25 cents more. And that was the philosophy of Bidenomics. So you either got Dollar Tree or go to one of these sporting events, right? And pay a case, the cost of a case for one can of beer, right? So yeah, now they sell 24 of them. They making 24 times what it makes in a case, but they do have to spend on other things. But it's not on the employees because I've seen the employees. I've been at the gate where the employees are on strike, asking, "Hey, join our strike." And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go get a quick $100, right? And then they're telling me, "Don't work too hard." Sincerely. But if I don't work too hard, then I'm not going to get the job, right? Or which was their job, but they're on strike. Then when you get there and the managers, they'll test you, speaking under their tongue, calling you the N word under the tongue, because they know they can't say that word. They can't be angry, right? Because we're in a state of lawsuits. It's the DOJ that has all the power. And it's what's happening in the household. We already flooded the Department of Justice with in family court. And all Joe did was turn up the volume on that. So all of us that's going down to family court, yes, I've been there before because I went there to adopt a child, to try to help out. And what did I run into was most of the families was like, nah, we don't want your help. Because the real fight is against the DOJ. And it's devastating us. So when I see it everywhere else, it gets whack. It's whack. You know? Yeah. I'm not done. I mean that's the gist of it though. That is the gist of it. So it looks like Kyrie Irving is winning. Oh, Karis went, yeah. See, this is how the algorithm knows what I like, right? In this track, this is when he starts with, "This is not the first time I came to the planet. I've been here before, but only a few could understand it. I came as Isis. My words they tried to ban it. I came as Moses. They couldn't follow my commands. Came as Solomon to a people that was lost. Came as Jesus, and then they nailed me to a cross." Right? One of my all-time favorite tracks. He knows I'm watching The Godfather, so it's I'm saying a lot of, and this guy made this video a day ago because they're in reset mode. All they can do is talk about, the greats, and Godfather's considered the great. And since the algorithm knows I like The Godfather, it's going to present The Godfather. Yes, the algorithm can know that I like Boys in the Hood, for example, which is different than what The Godfather is, right? The same with The Spook Who Sat by the Door. But that's different too because that movie came out around the same time as The Godfather, but they didn't want that kind of black knowledge put out there when it comes to black people building something together. That therein is where we lost the battle to white leftist liberals because yes, they say that they're going to help us, but it's a fallacious ideology, right? Notice I said a false ideology that they have the power or they are really willing to help free you. All they can do is continue to enslave you. So where the Godfather is supposed to be the head of the household, yes, and their communities is still the head of the household because the Godfather immortalized them forever, right? Or until 200 years until the next great Godfather movie or whatever it's going to be called, and they're trying to continuously make it. We made one Black Panther movie, and they completely changed the movement of it by the second movie. It no longer became father son. It's now baby mama. That's the LGBTQIA plus Black Lives Matter political ideologies that they're using against us. It's not hip hop. This right here, the Trump jail me. I guess Trump won't shut up or whatever. It's meant to entertain. This is the best they can do. All right. Oh, the judge must be black, huh? Irony is a MOFO, right? And then here you go. Government breaks up a black city, Baton Rouge, LA, right? Black Authority. Wonder what's it about. I'll check it out later on. 2.5 hours. Gotta find time to watch some of this stuff. I like Professor Penn. Currency Wars. I'm feeling them. This is probably interesting too. Um, it's actually a denomination war. That's why it's related to religion. What denomination are you? Despite me growing up being Baptist Baptist Catholicism, right? That's what my when up until I was 12, 13, 14, when you really start to make a decision in what path of, and when it comes to a cultural religion we want to move in, hip hop was just starting out, and that was the direction I chose to go in. So my denomination wasn't non-denominational Christianity. It actually became an Islamic Christianity. And I'm still trying to explain that to everyone. Because we're the ones being conditioned. There's no such thing. It's only the battle between, his Vlad in the middle or whatever. You see? But Tariq gets it. He's exploiting it. That's what he's doing right here. Because we're forced to choose between Drake and Kenny, K Dot. We're forced to choose between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, and whoever that is that he's fighting. Right? That's all they can do is have us fight each other in the boxing ring. And that's the reckoning of DJ Vlad. That's what he's always done. That's how he got to be as popular as he is. And he's Jewish. He's a boxing promoter. So as soon as we support Don King, that's when they'll call us the hypocrites. Somebody else mentioned it over here. I guess this is see. I'm a part of the black media. I like to call it the black networking media. So what I'm seeing is probably is a lot different than what someone else that does YouTube and searches out, say, the corny people who pops up on my thing, because they'll try to add them to there. Like, no, Philip Scott is a good dude. That's why I see a lot of his posts. But the other guy, I can't remember his name right now. The Real Dana, I love her show. The Making of Fannie Willis, 17 hours ago. I need to check that out. But she's exploiting Fannie Willis and some of the usual suspects that I've been talking. But as soon as you talk bad about those usual suspects that are part of the LGBTQIA plus Black Lives Matter, that's what they are. They're Black Democrats. That's what they're Black Democrats. And they betrayed us. And they want us to vote for Biden again. And we are now aware of how ignorant that is. But as soon as we say that, then we get outcasted as being Black Republicans as a lie. And the algorithm, it does turn us down. It turns down the volume in such a voice. So they'll push entertainment, Gregory Hines, Gregory Hines is Gregory Hines. And then I'm a gaming only channel. That's why they know my son watches once in a while too, but he has his own account. That way I can monitor it. But it knows he might pop up on mine. They know we do a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog, so it'll pop some Sonic the Hedgehog on there too. Jason Whitlock's an example. Like, I used to watch Jason Whitlock because I thought he was going to be that bold Black conservative Republican or whatever. But he's basically a Black Democrat too. But he acts like he's not going to vote for Biden, like that he's against Biden. But he's only doing it to join in on, say, exposing Stephen A. Smith, who's telling the truth about Biden. He's too old. That Trump should win, right? Because he's going to fulfill the destiny of winning, losing, winning again. Making him one of the greatest, quote unquote, greatest presidents of all time. Yada yada. But he's not sincere because he hangs out with the white nationalist Christians. They act like they're not white nationalist Christians. But their movement is to destroy hip hop. They don't want to conversate with the Rakims and the Big Daddy Kanes and the Keras ones. The names that I bring up. Right? They're not considered because their record sales, even though in any circle of hip hop, as soon as you mention Rakim, it's like number one, right? As soon as you mention Black Thought, number one, right? And Black Thought has always leaned blue. meaning the authority, but he's aware of how they treated Malcolm X. He's with the Malcolm X clan. So that's why he kind of, hey, I'm just here to spit my dope rhymes and I'm out. I'm not here to be a politician. But he gets it, you know? And that's why they don't push him like they should, even though he's on late night television and everything, right? Whenever you mention top 5 MCs, his name is up there, right? Our black media fails again. Jason Black. And as you can see, that there's another one, Mark Lamont Hill. These are the easy ones to pick on, you know. He built a school, I mean a bookstore. He's a professor. But he sat opposite of what's her name? Whatever her name is. Candace Owens. And he told Candace Owens that he knows women that are pregnant with babies. I mean, men that are pregnant with babies. That it's I'm a spokesman for the LGBTQIA plus Black Lives Matter, not hip hop. That's what I got to help y'all to understand. It's not hip hop. It's a political ideology that they have the authority, not the church. The church has the authority to marry a man and a woman, period. The state does not have the authority to change that within the church. That's the part. That's the point. But he's part of that crew that, you know, yeah, he might be, you know, whatever with her or whatever. But he doesn't care about, hey, y'all got wedding vows. Y'all not allowed to do that. Right? Pastor does. But pastor also wants you to come every week because the state really isn't helping pastor or the black community, or especially the black family, to stay as one unit. Instead, it's break up the black family unit. And I still ain't seen it, but it's under my history problem. Library. There it is. So there it is right there. It's like I'm just showing proof that I watched it this morning, 7 hours ago. Sergeant Willie P. Dropped this video right here. It's I thought he was finished when I ain't see the whole exact, but I mean I seen I seen 90% of it. Like he was finishing up where I left off at. That was his what's the name? So subscribe, you know him and everything. But what he's doing is he's just dropping his thoughts on please think before becoming a parent, right? And I seen Mr. C share it and kept it moving and added a sentence of you know, we're not making enough cash. And is once again I have to it's we don't beat the Ponzi game by being a part of the Ponzi game. Instead, I get it. You have to watch his video in totality to understand what Willie Pete is talking about, because he's talking about one specific family, right? But it does reflect a lot of families, right? Not everybody can live in a mansion. I'm still doing okay because I have a humbled little house. My house doesn't cost that much, right? Everybody wants a mansion. Yes, 2 blocks away from me, there's a mansion. I'm in that kind of community. 2 blocks away from me, one way, is a mansion. Out my back porch is the projects. It literally is like that. All right. So, yes, it's the same in Mount Airy, though. That's the ironic part about it. Mount Airy is the same way. That's part of uptown in Philadelphia. And y'all know it. There's mansions in Mount Airy. If you the houses are separated a little bit with the mansions and stuff, so yeah, you're not gonna get people shot, on those blocks, but people are gonna shoot on the populated blocks where you got row homes, right? Where all the row homes is at, and you got alleyways you can dip and ran through, and you're dealing with more families, and you're dealing with the 60 to 70% of families that are single parented. So yes, that's the relevance of what really Pete is talking about when it comes to y'all have a child together, and now he feel as though he doesn't have to change the diapers, but he can't find that. Even though he did, I guess the guy he's talking about does have $100,000 a year job. She has a $40,000 a year job or whatever, and now they have to fix their economics. Who's the more qualified to budget the household? Just because he makes 100,000, why wouldn't you want to change your baby's dirty diaper once in a while? Right? I change my son's diaper whenever, yeah, we try to pass it off. She pass it off, right? It's your turn. All right, that's my turn, I guess, right? And while I'm changing it, I'm teaching them. My mind remains afire with all kinds of ideas. It's self-esteem that makes it think that my thought took years to build. But I just got on because, like I said, I got 3 brothers, 2 brothers, right? There's 3 of us, and I thought I'd be at the point where I can afford to see them every day, right? Talk about the Eagles or the Sixers or baseball or even a video game, right? Yeah, I'm playing, Karateka. Me and my son played Karateka yesterday, right? Let me hear that latest music or beat that you dropped, my youngest brother, right? Let me see a picture that you took. My older brother's a photographer. But it's rat race. I'm still rat race, and then you go into the rat race. And like I said, I literally, the first manager was the union manager. He wants me to join. He doesn't want me to join the union, but he wants me to go on strike with the union. Like, that's ignorant. I'm not like, you want me to not get paid, to strike with you, not get paid because you need better health benefits, right? The second manager was the manager that I'm working day to day that's telling me to, clean the grease off the side of a oven, right? He knows that I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to work hard. So I don't have beef with him, right? He has a little beef with me because he's probably getting it from his boss whenever somebody like myself doesn't perform, So yeah, and then I met his boss, who might have been, one of the top people in the whole industry, right? Because they making them work side by side with the commoners. And so I got a chance to meet him too, and he seemed like a good dude, but he didn't. But I caught him biting his tongue, like every time he says a curse word, he gets fined, right? And him on edge, like questioning his authority. And it's like, y'all want me to actually work in that kind of environment 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And all I got to do is, grunt at a customer and get fired. Right? Because that's what happens. It's everybody's on edge because you can get fired for nothing. And they fired me for nothing. And in order to really get the job, you got to work a certain way. You got to be picture perfect for 3 to 6 to 9 to 12, because they're always trying to measure your based on a scale of false pride. Are you a good father? And that's coming from a lesbian. Are y'all starting to get it? Are you a good father? And that's coming from a grown man that says he's gay. Are you a good father? And that's coming from a bisexual. Are you a good father? And that's coming from a transgender. That's how fake that organization is. It's a political ideology. It's not freedom, justice, and equality. It's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yes, I'm matching it up. Diversity, inclusion, and equity. Freedom with diversity. Justice with inclusion. Equality with equity. I'm going to explain that more so at a later date. But I just felt as though I had to come on here because I think my friend didn't get it for a second. Because we do our best to be trustworthy. Right? I do my best to be trustworthy. I do. I trust Don, Ernest, and John. I trust them. That's why I befriended them. Because I'm trustworthy and I trust them. But when we're so caught up in a society that says, don't trust, don't trust, don't trust, don't trust, don't trust, you find yourself slipping up. Because you're listening to the devil, a demon that's telling you that. So a lot of y'all are out there repeating the demon instead of repeating the actual biblical ideology or truth, which is love. Takes courage to really acknowledge it, right? How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees. You are hypocrites. You close the door for people to enter the kingdom of heaven. You do yourselves don't enter, and you stop others who are trying to enter. Yes, trying to live. That's the actual commandment. Moses had to translate it for you to understand. The commandment is God said, live. Moses had to translate it. They don't understand that. Do not kill. Did y'all peep that? Live. Do not kill. I'll be back with more lessons. Well, programs. This is a program. The Vo Love Arse. It's an intelligent observation. Yeah, it started with The Godfather, one of the greatest movies of all time. But there's a product when you take God and cross it with Father, you get one God, our Father, the art of time on heaven, Yahweh.